Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Stonehearth Alpha 20. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day because the Hearthlings here in Fort Nerdingham are having a pretty darn good time. There's 34 of them. There were previously 35 of them. That's because one of them died. Irving Belltower wound up keeling over. He eventually gave in to his injuries and, well, he is no longer with us. Now, there is a reason for that, and the reason is more than likely to do with the fact that I don't believe we have a herbalist anymore. So we're going to get a herbalist, and that herbalist is going to hopefully keep people alive. So the herbalist is going to be someone that's really good with their mind. I suppose Dara Homer, you're going to do it. Congratulations, you are now a herbalist. There you go. Enjoy your new job. We're also gonna go and find someone who's got a great body and some good spirit. I know what I said. And they are gonna be a footman. Now that looks like it's probably gonna be Ella Tenter. So you are gonna become a footman. So we can expand Red Team just a little bit there. So you're gonna head off and do that. You're gonna get your gear soon enough, and everything should be beautiful. Now, something I'd also like to do is I'd like to go into the carpenter. I'd like to say, buddy, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to make me 2 farmer's hoes because I want 2 more farmers to help work all of these fields in here. I think that's going to be really important. So we're going to get that done. Now, what we're also going to do is hopefully go ahead and move the cooks out of this building because they still work in that corner there. I'd like to move them into a building inside of the fort over here. And I do believe I might already have the building designed. If I don't, I'll design it again. Let's see. Bakery. There it is. The bakery. We are going to build this, and this is where the cooks are going to work. It looks like this. You might be wondering, well, why did you build that off camera? Well, the reason I built this off camera is kind of a simple one. I tried recording an episode. I didn't think it was very good. I built this in that episode, so I decided to keep it because I actually like this. So that's why. That's why I'm also, I know exactly what I need to do. I need to get a herbalist. I need to build this. I want more farmers. I've done all this before for me. And I'm not a huge fan of sort of scrapping episodes, then using that to make a better episode than I would have. But I wasn't happy with what I recorded. It actually happens quite frequently. I delete a lot of things because I want to make it as good as it can possibly be. So that's maybe a reason that there might be delays in some series sometimes. Anyway. With that aside, I want to go ahead and I want to put the bakery possibly there. I'm also considering over there. Oh, does that? Oh, that almost fits. It overlaps on the thing. Would it fit in there? Oh, you know what? Does that fit perfect? That fits perfectly in there, doesn't it? Oh my god, that bakery actually fits perfectly in there. I'm not saying that's kind of tempting, but that's kind of tempting. No, I don't want to put it there. I actually do know where I want to put the bakery. So the bakery is actually just gonna go over here. This is where it was built originally, so that's where it's gonna stay, right there. So we are gonna go ahead and build that. The carpenter is gonna have a lot of work to do, but I'm sure he can do it. And once that's done, we'll go ahead and have the cooks come on over and work out of that building. Now, I know it's called a bakery. I know they're cooks. Just want to throw that out there. I just thought it looked more like a bakery than a cook's kind of place. Now, we do have space for a herbalist in here, don't we? Yeah. So that's going to be good. That's going to be beautiful. And we do now have a herbalist. We have 2 herbalists. What the hell do we have 2 herbalists for? Are you telling me we didn't have a herbalist? Why was this herbalist not doing anything? Do we have any health potions in our inventory? I honestly don't know. Show me the workshop. Yeah, we do. We absolutely have health potions in our inventory. So why on earth were we not why was no one being healed? That's really strange. Right, so the reason I wanted a herbalist was because I'd looked at the comments on yesterday's episode and I was like, oh my god, everyone's telling me that I need a herbalist. But apparently we don't, because we had one. CC Belltower was a herbalist, admittedly a bad one, apparently. But that's kind of surprising. Are you any good? You're actually very good at being a herbalist. So you know what? You've got better spirit. Do you need high spirit? I guess not. You just... Okay, so you know what, Cece? You're not very good at what you do. So Dara Homer, you're going to be the new herbalist. So Cece, you are just going to go and you could be a cleric. You know what? You're going to be a cleric. We're going to get a third cleric on red team. And we're going to go to Dara. And we're going to say, Dara, would you do me the honor of possibly making a shed load of tonics? Energy tonics will make people less sleepy and they'll move faster. The stamina tonic will buff their stamina. We've got courage. We've got strength. But I want you to work on getting me 40 of those. As quick as you can, please. Also, don't make me any of those because you're not going to have all the materials to do it. So, you're going to do your thing. Hopefully, it's going to be good. We're going to speed up the game a little bit so we can get this built quickly as well. A trader approaches. That's totally okay. Let me actually keep the game running at normal speed for a second because I'm thinking that in this space, we can put the blacksmith/mason building. I figure that's probably a nice space for it. So let's go in to building design and let's say that we'd like not some roads, we want some foundations. And the foundations of this building can be the pattern of Hillary, Granite Green, and Pale Oyster. So Pale Oyster is an interesting color. Just throwing that out there. Now what I'd like to do is actually bring this to, say, 12 by... Let's go 12 by like 28. And that'll be fine. And then let me do something like this just as a little bit of detail or something. So that connects up like that. That's okay. I then want to put some walls on it. The walls are going to be... I'm thinking I'm actually going to try and do similar to what I did back there. So I want to go with wood for the walls. And the columns are going to be made of, I think it was bistre. So we're going to do that. Bit of a actually, no, that is actually really dumb. Because if it's a mason's building, there's going to be fire. And I guess the blacksmith as well would technically be fire. Yeah, we probably don't want them made out of wood. I know it won't actually catch fire. Just want to throw that out there. I know that's not actually a thing. But from a realism standpoint, it would completely crush my immersion. So, yeah, I'll shut up now. Right, so this, I think, will be fine. I'm tempted to see about putting, like, some crenellations on here. Because I think it looks kind of interesting. I could have put crenellations... Oh, well, closed permanently. I could have put crenellations elsewhere, but maybe I don't want to do that. I think it's a little bit much. I do think it's a little bit much. So we'll not do crenellations. Can we just go for like a normal stone roof then? Something like that kind of works. Although, can I do that? I can sorta. I don't know if I like that though. I'm not sure if I like that or not. I mean, it's interesting. It's just very different to the building next to it. And kind of different to all of our other buildings. Let's just bring it down a little bit. Like... No, I don't like it when it's flat either. Let's go with that. That'll do the job. So that's going to be the rough shape of this building. I do want to go ahead and get like some road out here as well. So the road bit is going to be the pattern of the grays and all that. Although it doesn't line up very well. But it'll do the job. It's going to have to. So that's where that's going to go. We're going to get a nice door. I think the door for this can just be a stone tunnel door. It could go right there. I think that looks interesting. And we'll get some windows and go ahead and actually get this thing built. Okie dokie. Design work on the building, I do believe, is pretty much done, aside from, of course, getting a couple of lanterns in there, which I actually totally forgot about. So I'd like to throw a lantern just up there and up there. I'd like to get a lantern there and there. And also at the front of the building, just there and just there. And maybe we'll throw a couple of lanterns just on the inside of the door as well. So that's the layout. There's a couple of the workbenches there. There's a couple of things around there. I've put two of each of those because it just looks better. Some storage chests, and that's pretty much it. It is a relatively simple building, but I do absolutely Love it. So hopefully that's going to do some good stuff for the mason and the blacksmith when we eventually get around to building it. Which I'm not doing just yet because I want this building to be built first. Then behind those two buildings, I honestly don't know what I'll put back here. Because we need something. I've got no idea. Now, something I would like to address with regards to construction, whilst it's in my brain, is this. So a lot of people were like, I kind of wish the Hearthlings all had their own bedroom. And unfortunately, that's just not a thing we can do. I want them to have their own rooms as well. I would love to give each of them their own like individual space in the fort, and that's kind of what I was originally doing when I started putting the houses over here. I kind of wanted to give them like their own individual spaces and eventually give them all an individual home. That is something I wanted to do. I still kind of would like to do that. But my priority at the minute, and something I am going to be doing today, is advancing the game's story a little bit in terms of combat, getting, the tougher enemies on their way, expanding our army a little bit. I'd like to kind of do all of that. And unfortunately, it just means that they're all going to have to live in the fort. The fort is the safe place. They can go to the fort and not be immediately attacked because the enemies will always spawn over here because we've pretty much taken up all of the space in the fort, and we have so many people in the fort that I'm not certain, but I'm fairly confident that the enemies won't actually attack it. So that's kind of what's going on with regards to that. Now, something I would like to do, and I've just sort of realized that I'd like to do it, is I'd like to go ahead and get a few of these guys and throw them down on the ground around the farms. Because I feel like that'd be a pretty good idea. Just to nicely outline all of this space. So something like that. We'll get a couple just over there and there. And we'll get a couple just there and there. It's not going to give that much light. But it's a little something, It's better than absolutely nothing. I would kind of like to properly outline every field like this. But it does mean we have a kind of awkward doubling up just there. But I guess that's going to be okay. I know I placed one wrong there. I'll go back and pick it up once they put it down. Guess we're going to do the same thing here as well. We have another daily update, which is good news. We actually had someone join us in not yesterday IRL, but yesterday in-game. Yesterday's daily update, we had Peyton Burleyhands joined us yesterday. We shouldn't have anyone joining us today, which is totally okay by me. So we should have a lot of people coming in with the lanterns soon enough to place them around the farms, which will light those up very, very nicely indeed. This building's also coming along really nicely too. I never showed the inside of this, did I? I never showed the inside. So there's actually going to be two beds up here. We're actually going to have the bakers or the cooks living in the building that they work in. Because I figured that we do have the space to do it with this, and I figure it's a nice enough looking building that I don't mind them living separate to everybody else. I know that sort of goes against the point of this building, but I just thought for this one, this one case, we'll go for both of them living in the same building. So, with that going on, is there anything I can have my combat teams do? I'm not too sure. Yeah, there is actually. They could go out there. But first, I'd like to grab Irving Belltower's gravestone, and I'd like to move it just over to here. Just like that. So that'll get moved into that space soon enough. I also want to go to my cooks, and I want to say, guys, you need to make more of the... They're not making. No, they are making. They should be making Pollo feed, but I guess we don't have baskets of corn, do we? That's a bit of a pain that we don't have baskets of corn. We do need baskets of corn. We just don't have them. I also am fairly sure in saying that the... Oh, you're Mary. The new one's Mary. All right. I mean, you're Peyton, but you're also kind of Mary. No one else is Mary, but that's fine. Peyton, you are actually going to become a farmer. Or no, you're not, because apparently we don't have a farmer's hoe, which should have been crafted by the blacksmith at this point, but for some reason hasn't been. Can I throw those down? Just do that later. Just get that done later. I want the farmer's hose done nice and quickly. So we can get 2 more farmers so we can start getting this all done and getting a bunch of crops out for everybody. Because we need them. We need to get chicken feed. We really need to get chicken feed on the go. I've also just realized that the roof is not going on this. I really do like how the red roofs look. I think they're a nice, you know, we've got the blue over there and then the red over here. It just looks really, really nice, actually. I am quite the fan. Then the blue curtains on the inside are a little bit weird. It'd be nice to be able to, like, to customize the color of the curtains or something, but I can't imagine that's much of a big deal in terms of game design for Stonehearth at the moment. I did notice there, though, that we were a little bit low on wood. So we are going to need to go in here and we are going to need to say that we want to gather some wood from a few of these areas. I'll go out that way and gather some so we can not completely destroy the forest that we have here. There's a lot of wood up this way that we could go and get. We could get some wood from up there as well. But I don't want to completely, like, strip the forests just yet. I'll do it eventually, don't get me wrong, but just not yet. I'm not quite ready for there to be no forests around here. So we'll get all that done, and Red Team, can I get you guys to just go up this way and, like, deal with that little camp? I mean, there's not much of a reason to do it. I just kind of like to. I just kind of want rid of it. I don't think it should be there. It's too close to our walls. I don't feel entirely safe. So that's gone, and that poor little goblin. A poor little goblin. He's gone too. So let's have a look in here, because we have quests for townships, don't we? So we were going for crafter's approval, weren't we? Which was build and place the guildmaster's skill. Now that was crafted by, or that would be crafted by a mason, which would require heavy bandages and also a wall-mounted tapestry. Now you can make a wall-mounted tapestry, so I'd like you to make me 5 of them. Then my herbalist needs to make some heavy bandages, which requires a herbalist level 4, which might take a while, but we'll get that eventually. So we're going to queue an order for a few of those at some point, and then we'll be able to build the guildmaster's skill, which is good. So I'm looking forward to it. Still don't have either of those. That's totally fine. 35 hearthlings is honestly more than enough anyway. This is very nearly done, which is beautiful. Carpenter's over here, of course, working his butt off. Oh, there's another farmer's hoe. Beautiful. How many of those do we have? Carpenter, are you... You are done with them, so we can get 2 more farmers, which I'm absolutely going to do. So go in here and let's say that you are too good at crafting to be a farmer. You could be a footman. Petra Burleyhands, you are going to be a farmer. Congratulations. And we're also going to get somebody else. We could get, you know what, Peyton. Peyton Burleyhands, you are also going to be a farmer. There we go. There we go. The Burleyhands siblings working on the farms. That should absolutely do some good stuff for this, though. It should be much, much easier for them to go through and get this all sorted. How's the town inventory looking at the moment? It is filling up, so let's go to Norm and let's say, Norm, mate, I would like to sell some stuff to you, buddy. I would like to sell something, to be honest. Not sure what the something is. Maybe a bunch of those, because we don't need that many of them. And maybe all of that, because we get plenty of it anyway. Why is it still there? Oh, he's got no money left. Okay, well, there you go. That'll happen to you. That should be fine. Oh, look at this. They've actually pretty much done the building. They're just doing some of the interior stuff. They are going to need to get themselves some of the furniture that's going to go in there. I don't know if they have it or not, but we'll see. The door is actually ready to go in as well. We have one of those somewhere in storage. Not entirely sure where that somewhere is, but the lights are going on to it as well, which is very exciting. Let me go and just undeploy that light because it wasn't supposed to be there. And I'm also looking at this building, and I'm thinking, the more I look at this building, the more I do agree that it isn't a very pretty-looking building. And also, because it is technically still under construction, these ghosts for the town banners are never going to go away. Or the camp standards, rather. So, eventually, I would maybe be interested in tearing that down to make something a little bit better. But I'm not going to promise anything, because I've just sort of built it, and I really don't want to tear it down just yet. So, we're going to leave it as is. But eventually, the option might be there to tear it down. Are we going to start putting the things in here? I mean, the door's in. If we could start getting the equipment used to actually make the food, that would be excellent. Because it would mean that I could... Oh, yeah, we are bringing the equipment up. Oh, look at that. Not bad. I think we've got a bed in there as well. Yeah, one of the beds is in place. There's more of the cooking equipment going in. I'm very much okay with this, because this means I can go and say, hey, wait, what are you doing? Hey, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. This bed is not yours. This bed is going to be owned by Anne. Anne, congratulations. You now own that bed. So, enjoy. And then the other one's going to be owned by somebody else. So there's more cooking equipment going in. There's the other bed going in. So this bed is going to be owned by not Anne, Larry. There we go. We still don't have the food. We do have the net worth. Beautiful. All right, so that building is so close to being done at this point. I think we're pretty much set to go ahead and say that we can start constructing the other one. Although I would kind of like to get the last 2 bits of cooking equipment in there first. I think that'd be a pretty good idea. So that's going to go in. Then, actually, you know what? That is fine, as is. Let's head over to the old cooking station and say that we want to undeploy all of this. So the cooks are no longer working in this building. There we go. Beautiful. That is progress right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is progress. We're moving away from these buildings. We're moving into the fort. It's going to be amazing. So let's go to this building as well and say that we are finished editing. We are going to need quite a few things for it, but we'll get those eventually. Get it built. All right. So that's going to get done eventually. Why are they immediately building 2 giant ladders? Why are those some of the first orders that went into this building? That's kind of curious right there. That is kind of curious. Anyway, they're going to get that done nice and quickly. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the farmers are sowing seeds like no one's business. Quite excited about that. Are the chickens fed? The chickens are fed. Okay. I'd kind of like to kill a few of them. Are they fed? Are they alive and well? Well, not for much longer. There we go. So we'll kill those 4. The reason being, I would like to go to me Weaver. And I would like to get more of the fire quivers. I'd like to set fire to a few more enemies when we get the opportunity. There's nothing else we can make for archers, is there? No. Fair enough. So that's being made. Herbalist is still incapable of making those. It's a bit of a pain. You're not even level 2 yet, so... I mean, that'll do it. That'll certainly do it. I guess the herbalist can just take their time doing whatever they're doing. It's unfortunate that it's going to take a while, but that's just the way of it. I suppose that is just the way of it. Is this building actually done yet? Oh, it is. Beautiful. Look at that. Well, actually, no, the windows aren't in yet, are they? Is the building actually done? No, it doesn't have the diamond window frames. It doesn't have the signs. It doesn't have the clay wall, the wall clay lamps, the small crates, or the large crates. Is the carpenter working on such things? The carpenter's working on those, then those, then those, then that, then that, then that, then that. The carpenter, however, is not working on wall signs, it seems. So, Mr. Carpenter, I'd quite appreciate it if you'd make me a bunch of wooden wall-mounted signs. Eventually. Obviously, take your time with it. No rush, mate. Don't stress yourself or anything, but, you know, get it done in a timely manner. Otherwise, I will find someone that will get it done in a fairly timely manner. Just saying. I mean that threat and that's the most friendly threat that you're ever gonna encounter, is what that is. I kind of want to put more lights around here. I'm kind of thinking that I might put some lights in like all of the corners of the walls. I think that could look interesting. It could look very intimidating as well, which is kind of the point. So let's go to the mason and let's go and say that you are going to build me quite a few things apparently. Okay, eventually, can you build me a shed load of those? Like 20 of them? Just eventually do that. You could also probably... No, you don't do it at all. It's the blacksmith that I want to go to. Yeah, blacksmith. Can you make me the decorative scout gong? Because I want to place that today. Even if we don't do anything about it, even if we're not actually going to be fighting today, tomorrow's episode, we are going to be fighting. We're going to be fighting. We're going to be summoning tougher enemies. Also, interestingly, we haven't been invaded thus far, have we? Like, there hasn't actually been an invasion of enemies throughout this episode. Although I may have spoken too soon, because there's a bunch of them over there that are just sort of standing around doing nothing. So we might see an invasion fairly soon. Also, we are still mining under there. We're nearly done mining under there, though. Which is interesting. Very tempted to mine out towards the fort. But that does seem like it would be counterproductive, because the point of the bridge is that it's the only access point to the island. So having a tunnel that goes there would be another way to get to the island for enemies. And we kind of don't want that. So I kind of think we're not going to bother doing that. Okay, so while this building's coming along really, really nicely, I would like to take a moment to just look over this way and see what's left. Because we can actually go ahead and say to the mason that the mason is no longer needed there. Because the mason's gear is already over there. And I'm pretty sure that the blacksmith might be the same. Also, I know about the performance issues. That's just gonna happen considering we have as many hearthlings as we do and as much stuff as we do. We can't move the blacksmith yet, though. We do need to move the engineer. And I'm actually thinking the engineer could have an interesting building. Just sort of, well, actually, the frame rate's also caused by the, when you lower walls, but I'll try to remember to not do that too much. I think the engineer could have a building in here. I think that could look really interesting if I do it right. So I'm going to try and design something here. Might look a bit weird, but bear with me. We'll go to foundations, and I want to do something like this. We're going to go for Bahama Blue, and we're going to go 10 by 10. Which is fine. I then want to erase the corners like that. Then erase them again, just like that. And erase those bits too. Possibly. Yeah, that'll work. So basically we're going to make something that's a little bit... It's not circular. Circular would be the absolute wrong word to use here. But something kind of like that for the base of this thing. Although, unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure how you'd get into it. Because obviously it's not quite wide enough for a door here. So we'll figure that out in a second. But I want the walls to kind of... for God's sake, I'm going to have to undo the walls, aren't I? I can't undo the walls for some reason. Yeah, that's fine. Can I undo... sections of wall, please? No. So I'm going to have to design that again. That might be a little bit tricky for them to build, but I want to try this. Oh, for God's sake. I don't care about your bloody seeds. Remove that. There we go. And let's give this another shot. Let's go 10 by 10. Let's remove the corners like that. Let's remove those bits. And remove those bits too. So something just a little bit like that. I'm not really sure how to do an entrance on this. I'm really not sure how to do an entrance on this, but we'll figure it out. So the walls, I want them to be ash, and I want the columns to also be ash. So it is just an ash pillar. I'd then like to go to slabs, I think. No, actually, we want to go to floors. We want to go to floors, and we want to go for... I'm going to say a bit of stone. Which is going to be this kind of regal blue color. Which is totally okay. So I'll come over like this with all of that. Then I want to go for the dark regal blue color, which actually can't go on top of that, which is kind of annoying. So dark regal blue is going to go there. We are being invaded. We'll deal with that in just a second. And town items are full as well. This is just going amazingly. So that's going to go to there. So that's going to be like a blue strip across the building. Then I want to go back to floors, which is unfortunately a bit of a pain to do. So do that, then go to floors, and then erase that bit. So that should be fine. Then we can go into floors and we can get the actual floor up here. So something like that should be... Why can I not click this? So that's actually not at all possible. Interesting. Okay. We'll do the single blue strip then. And that'll be fine. What I want to do is in the middle of the building, delete just a little square like that. Then go back to walls and say we want another bit like that. So that should be fine. Then on top of that, we're going to go to floors and we're going to go for... I'm going to say volcano. It seems like a pretty good color. So something a little bit like that. And that's another strip, obviously. Then off of that, I'm thinking we go to slabs. We go to Hillary, possibly. A bit of a darker color. Maybe pale oyster. But I want to try and build off of this a little bit. And just make it... You know, this is actually going to look really, really dodgy as a tower if I build it the way I'm thinking about it. I was going to give it a wider head. But I realize what that could look like if I go with these slightly fleshy tones and give it a wide... We're gonna not do that. Okay, we actually need to deal with the invaders who are attacking this guy, Gary, the Master Trapper, who is all the way over here for some reason. Not really sure why Gary's over there, to be honest. Probably slacking off from work, but that's fine. He is severely low on health. Admittedly, a bit of a worry. But we should be able to manage this. Who are the clerics in this group? Are there any clerics in this group? I don't know. Go for that one. Go for that guy. Make him... There are clerics. Go for the clerics. Right, dead cleric. Go for that guy. There we go. Cleric level 1 already. Get that guy, please. There we go. I'm seeing a few fire arrows in that mix, which is beautiful news. So you are also dead. You are dead. Dead? Dead. And you are also gonna be dead. So we'll get them all killed. What I would like to do is immediately say that someone needs to go and rescue Gary. Because if someone doesn't go rescue Gary, Gary is going to be in a pretty bad way. So someone needs to go and grab him. Basically. Anybody from Red Team going to get Gary? Nope. No one from Red Team gives a damn about Gary. I'm sorry, Gary. You don't have any friends. That's just the way it is. Literally, no one likes Gary. With that said, it looks like one of the farmers might go grab him. Someone might go grab him. Any of you guys gonna help Gary? No? No, you gonna get him? Yeah, you go. Who is that? That is... Oh, it's Vi. Okay, you've redeemed yourself after that time you get stuck in the roof space of a building. I probably should show everybody you lot the new engineer building. So the engineering building is actually gonna be this kind of thing there. It's really simple. I know it is just a box, but I actually kind of like that it is just a little box. It's kind of, you know, it is a different style to the walls around it, so it kind of looks like it is just jammed into the little corner there. Unfortunately, I couldn't put any cool towers on top of it because they all ended up looking a little bit phallic. So we are just going to go with the box, and a box is totally fine. I also realized we can now get the blacksmiths out of the old buildings. Or out of the old building. So we'll go ahead and do that. Blacksmith, you are out of here. Engineer, honestly, you could probably get out of here as well, because you're really not needed at the moment. So having your workstation not placed is actually okay. As for this set of buildings here, I'm actually thinking I might tear them down. I don't know if it was last episode or one of the, like, the episode that I recorded and didn't keep because I didn't like it. It might have been that one I mentioned it in. So if it was, I haven't mentioned it already. If I mentioned it in the previous episode, then I do apologize for repeating myself. But I'm thinking that I might tear down a few of these buildings and build something here that looks a lot more like a village. So, you know, brown rooftops, buildings that look a bit more like the bakery, I suppose. So those kind of walls there with like an old brown rooftop or something. Just something really, really simple. So it looks like a little village just beyond the bridge of the castle. It would also mean that no one sleeps in these buildings anymore, which I actually kind of want to do. So I'm going to remove that building. And you are now sleeping on the ground. Interesting. I'm also going to remove this building. And yes, people will still sleep in these buildings, but that's totally okay. I'd also like to go to here and say that we do, in fact, need to get some new roads just into that spot, please. Finish editing and build. And we are going to do the same just over here as well, if I can, please. Just a little bit of a road in there. Finish editing and build. Job done. So that's going to be beautiful. This all needs to be cleared out, obviously. Need to do some stuff with that. Not entirely sure what that's going to be. Gary, where are you, buddy? Oh, Gary was healing. That was Gary. Oh, God, Gary, you're going to be so confused when you wake up. Jesus. Oh, he was out getting wood. He was attacked by goblins. He was put in a building, and then the building's gone. Gary's been through... Poor Gary. Poor guy. Doesn't know what's going on. The good news, though, is, like I said, everybody will start sleeping in that building there, which is kind of what we want. Also, red team, you guys just need to go back over here, please. Need to remember to do that. Need to remember to tell red team to always defend that square. That's all being filled in already, which is nice. Oh, Gary's back on his feet. There he goes. He's not having a great time, admittedly. He is in there now. But he's doing okay. Gary, he's doing all right. Good old Gary. One of the originals, actually. I don't think any of the original lot have died, have they? We've still got Terry, Anne, Larry. What were the names? We had Terry, we had Larry, we had Barry, we had Harry, we had Gary. And I think the other one was just Anne. Wasn't it? Because, well, anyone with a surname isn't one of the originals. So, yeah, I think we've still got all of the originals. I think. Did one of them die? John Umbro. Well, he was sort of one of the originals, I think. He was like a pseudo-original, because he wasn't actually one of the original lot, but he was around relatively early on, I think. I'm going to be honest, I don't remember. I'm also thinking that these chests are probably not the places to store anything other than, like, resources. To be honest, I don't think food or drink or wealth should be stored in those. So, no food, no drink, no wealth in any of those chests, so that we're not going into those chests to get food and drink and wealth. Similar story, I suppose, with the storage in here, which doesn't exist yet, so never mind. No similar story with any of that at all. Oh wow, look at this. This is all so close to being sewed, or sewn, which is good. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to leave it there for today, but I'm not going to leave it there without finally getting around to placing, if we have it, yeah, we do, the Scout's Gong. Now, what this will do is it will trigger, it'll trigger the goblins. They'll be triggered, hashtag triggered, and they will be gunning for us. But we're going to put it there. Norm has arrived with wares to sell. I'd actually like to sell you a few things, buddy, if you don't mind. Sell all of that. We'll sell all of that, and all of that, and all of that, and all of that. And we're good. So, we have the daily update. Net worth has dropped considerably. That's fine. That's totally fine by me. We are going to place this gong, and next time, ladies and gentlemen, next time, I do believe we will be getting attacked. Maybe not by goblins. I think it's kobolds that'll be attacking us. So hopefully by then, we can get a lot of this cleared away. Because that all needs to go into storage. Which will be done eventually. It's just going to take a little while to actually do it, because they're moving stuff out of here as well. But eventually, we're going to be good. Eventually, everybody's... Oh my god, they bloody moved it. The madmen actually moved it. The building's still not technically finished. But if I go to alert mode, they all actually go into the building and onto the balcony. Which, now that I think about it, is a terrible location, because if the enemies were to gather up in the walls, these guys would be screwed. But the enemies won't gather on the walls, because the enemies will make a beeline for how to actually get to them, which is through several pretty sturdy doors. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do us for today. Thank you kindly for watching. This has been Stonehearth Alpha 20, Part 19. Part 15. Not 19. Part 15. I was looking at Software Inc. on my schedule. Part 19 is the next episode of Software Inc. that I need to record. So, this has been Software Inc. Alpha 9, Part 19. Obviously. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.